welcome to your weekly introduction videos. This week we're going to look at some more factorization, okay, and we're going to look at factorizing quadratics. Now you maybe don't know what a quadratic is yet, we'll understand that as we go. So we're just going to revise some basic factorization first, some stuff we learned earlier in the school year, and just a reminder of how to expand double brackets. And then we're going to learn how to factorize a quadratic, okay? So here is some basic factorization questions. And remember, factorization is the opposite process of expanding. So expanding means you multiply away the brackets, but factorization means you put brackets in. And the example of these, we're always going to get one bracket, okay, and we've got to look at what we can take outside of the bracket, and once we know what we can take out of the bracket, we can work out what to put in the bracket. Now what we do is we always take out the highest common factor out of the bracket. So if we look at the first one, I can take out a factor of 5. 5x and 20 both have a factor of 5. So, and now I can work out what must go inside. It must be x plus 4, because 5 times x gives me 5x, and 5 times 4 gives me 20. So, there it is. There's the right answer, okay? What about B? What's the highest common factor of 39 and 9? Well, 3 is the highest common. 3 fits into 39, 3 fits into 9. So, we're going to take out 3, and then we put in my bracket. Now, what do I need to multiply by 3 to get 39? Well, it's 13. And what do I need to multiply by 3 to get 9p? Well, that's going to be 3p. Okay? C. This time, the highest common factor is actually not a number. You'll notice that 2 and 5, there's no highest common factor for that. Well, actually there is, it's 1, but 1 is not helpful. Okay? But we can actually take out the letters. This time we've got common factor of b, and there's a b in here as well. There's b squared, but there's only b in this one. So we're going to take out a b. Okay, there's also c over here and c cubed here. So again, the highest I can take out is just c to the power of 1, so just c. Okay, so that's the highest common factor this time. So what do I need to put in the bracket? Well, for the first term, I'm going to need a 2 and a c squared, because c times c squared is c cubed. And then I'm going to take away, I'm going to need a 5. And at the moment, I've got 5bc, but I know 5b squared c, so I need another b. Okay, there we go. It's factored. bc times 2c squared minus 5b. So we factorised, okay? I would like you to have a go at practice some of these. So factorise these 10 expressions just to make sure that you understand basic factorisation, okay? So you're putting brackets in by taking out the highest common factor. Remember, letters can be included in the highest common factor because they just represent numbers. That's all, okay? Stop your video and have a go. Okay, there are the answers. Okay, so check your work and let me know if you need any help with any of those questions. All right? Now, also need to be able to multiply out double brackets. You should be good at this because we were working on this last week. So again, just stop your video and have a go at doing these. Okay, hopefully you've done that. So here are the answers. Okay, again, let me know if there's anything there that you don't understand. Okay. Right, now, so you know how to expand a double bracket. And normally double brackets are like this. You can maybe get something like this. X plus 2 times x plus 3. Now I'll just do that one really quickly. With that one, I would get x squared, and then I'd get 2x and a 3x. I'd get 5x plus 6. Now, you'll notice that if you do a double bracket question like this, with x plus something and x plus something, you will always get you'll get x squared plus some amount of x plus something else. So you will always get this format. X squared plus some amount of x plus something. Okay? That's what happens if you expand a double bracket. And remember that expanding and factorising are opposite processes. So maybe if I give you something that looks like this, I can ask you to factorise it. Then what you should know is that's come from a double bracket. So if I wanted you to put brackets back in, well, this time it wouldn't be a single bracket, it would be a double bracket. And then all you need to do is work out what goes in those brackets, okay? So that's what we're learning. And this is called factorising a quadratic, because anything that looks like this, where I've got something squared plus something x plus something, that is a quadratic, okay? Now, it might be that actually your thing looks like this, x squared plus 3x. That is still a quadratic because it just means that the number over there is 0. It still exists, it's just 0. And even if you had something like this, x squared plus 5, that is also a quadratic. It just means you've got 0 x's. You've got 0 x's, okay? So x squared plus 3x is a quadratic, and x squared plus 5 is also a quadratic because it is actually following this form here. Some x squared plus some amount of x plus something. Okay? So these are called quadratics. So what we're actually learning this week is factorising a quadratic. Factorising something that looks like this. A quadratic. Okay? Now, here's some examples of what we're going to do. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to go back a few steps. I want to look at these 3 questions here. So, with these 3 questions, I asked you to expand. Okay? Now, let's imagine, actually, we were going the other way. So, I asked you to expand like this. What if actually I had given you the answer and I had asked you to factorise for each one? Now what I want you to do is see if you can spot a link between this number here and these numbers here and this number here and these numbers here. Can you spot a pattern? Relate this number here to these numbers here and this number here to these numbers here. And do it the same for the last one. Remember what I said with this one. This technically is x squared plus 0 x's minus 25. So can you spot a pattern that links this 0 to these numbers here and this minus 25 to these numbers here? Okay, now hopefully some of you have spotted the pattern. What you should notice is that this kind of green number here, this green number is these 2 numbers added together. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. And, oops, sorry, I need to do that. And this number here, this is kind of orangey one. This number here is this number and this number multiplied together. So 1 times 3 equals 3. Okay? And it is the same as we go through. Okay? This minus 6 is obtained by doing minus 2 plus minus 4. That's minus 6. And the plus 8 is obtained from doing minus 2 times minus 4. That's equal to positive 8. And it even works for the last one. Okay? This 0 here is obtained by doing 5 plus minus 5, that's equal to 0. And the minus 25 is obtained by multiplying those two numbers together. Minus 5 times plus 5 is equal to minus 25. Okay? So that is really, really, really useful information. So what we have to do, first of all, if I want to factorize these quadratics, is I first of all recognize that it is a quadratic, okay? It's x squared plus something x plus something. So I know that this came from a double bracket. And it's always x and x goes here, okay? All I need to do is find out what two numbers go here and here, okay? And it's very, very easy to figure out because remember what we said. These two numbers must add up to 4, okay? They must add up to 4. And these two numbers here and here must also multiply to 3, okay? That is what always happened, okay? 1 times 3 gave me 3. 1 plus 3 gave me 4. And it worked out with the others as well. So, all I've got to do is work that out. Let's look at 3. So what we always do is we take this number and we say, give me two numbers that multiply to 3. Well, we could try 1 and 3. And you think, well, is that the only options? Actually, no. There is another option. You could choose -1 and -3. Don't forget possible negatives. Okay? So all you now got to decide is which pair adds up to 4. So let's add them up. That equals 4 and that equals -4. So the correct pair was actually this one. +1 and +3. So now I know that means the answer must be x plus 1 times x plus 3. And if you're not sure if you got it right, you'll just expand it and see if you get back to the right answer. So x plus 1 times x plus 3 is equal to x squared plus 3x plus x plus 3, which is x squared plus 4x plus 3. So you could always check your answers, okay? Right, now I'm going to stop the video there so it doesn't get too long. And when I come back in part 2, I'll do a few more examples